you have willingness to grow, to shift through things that are not working for you, and to possibly meet somebody in the middle, man, how much of life is about like wanting to have our own way and really being adamant that things have to be a certain way? How many of us really step into the flow? I'm going to bank probably not many. At this stage of the game with me, I live in California. I come back to Florida to check on my mom. I'm going to be traveling again in like 2 weeks. And I'm all about the flow. I was told this by my astrology teacher years ago because of where my Pluto is placed. It's in Virgo, next to Uranus and Mars. In the 11th house, which has to do, it's Aquarius. It has to do like world community and other people and the group collective. But he's like, you've had lifetimes of having to know where everything fits, like in this little square box. And this is not the lifetime. Go to the polarity point of wherever Pluto is in your chart. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And for me, that's Pisces. And I followed that advice for a bit, and it was really good and flowy. And then life took a turn, and I got into this headspace where, I made big sacrifices. So yeah, I wanted to know what was going on, and I wanted to know how things are going to be laid out, right? And when there was no willingness, after a while, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So I've gotten back into the flow, and it's been, it's humbling when you can get into that divine flow and just allow life to come at you. And because we always have our backs covered, that's just reality. We really do. Most people don't have a lot of faith. And when things happen that don't go their way, they think, well, I have shitty luck, or this always happens to me. Well, particle, we're in a quantum universe. What we focus on and where we really put our emotions and our attention is what we're going to get more of. So if you're somebody who keeps getting like raw deals from the universe, or you just feel like life never gives you a break, you've created all of that, and you co-create it with other people. So to really be in the flow, to me, is so magical. And now I'm back here helping with my mom, and she's really difficult, like super difficult. Like, she argues about getting in the shower. I asked her yesterday, and probably shouldn't, because she really doesn't, she's smart enough to know what she's talking about, but I think there's this impulse where she can't help herself. And I asked her, I'm like, so just let me ask you a question. I go, what is the big deal about getting in the shower? Like, you're in a first world country. You have the grace, first of all, of people in your life that want to help take care of you. You have the grace that you have a full-time caregiver and family who are going out of their way to assist you, when a lot of people your age, their kids have lives. They don't want to be bothered. I hear this from people all the time. They don't take care of their parents. They're like, you know what? Now I have a life. Sorry. I'm going to put them in a care center or whatever. And that's their reality. So I try to ask my mom, what's the big deal? And then she straight up lied. Straight up lied. Her caregiver asked her to get in the shower yesterday. So mom goes in, and, she hears the shower going. She pops her head in there after about a couple of minutes just to see how mom's doing. And my mom's on the toilet. There's a half wall, so you can just see her legs, so she still had some privacy. But Mary's like, Esther, you got to get in the shower. My mom's like, okay. And so a few more minutes go by, and she comes back in, and Mary goes up and she checks my mom's hair. Like, my mom said, I showered. It was less than 10 minutes. There's no way that she takes less than 10 minutes when she showers, because we know her pattern. And her hair was completely dry. So she's saying she showered. So in the afternoon, she's gone with the caregiver, and I come home, and she just had a UTI, from not taking care of herself. We want her in the shower, and she's still able to shower. But it's it's so true. When people get to be elderly, they can revert back to childhood. They can be these horrible teenagers that you just want to strangle, Of course, you're not going to strangle them, but you feel like it because they're just so belligerent. And this is where she's at. But literally, I went into the bathroom, and I know that bathroom. I used to get my dad in the shower every day when he was alive. And he would say to me, oh, why do I need the shower? I'm like, Dad, hygiene, you need to get in. Okay, Dina. And he'd get in, and then you'd hear him singing in the shower, and oh, this is great, and he loved it. So I would turn the fan on. He'd be in the shower. There would always be water droplets on the shower doors because, it's an enclosed shower. And even that, and then he'd get out of the shower, and for at least half an hour or so, I'd leave the fan running in the shower, in the bathroom, just keep the moisture out. And by the next day, 24 hours later, the towel was still a little bit damp in that bathroom, and there were still water droplets on the door. So I go in to check yesterday. Mom's towel was completely dry. This is 3 hours after she said she showered. She turned the shower on with enough water to try to fake somebody out, like it was on the floor, but there was nothing on the doors. And then she proceeds to argue with me that the fan dried everything. And it's just it's pointless to argue, but at the same time, she needs to be taken care of, you know? And it's like banging my head. So here I am in the flow of my own life going, yeah, you know, I'm traveling to England. I'm in the flow. I'm so grateful for this trip. You know, whatever's going to unfold is going to unfold with my friends and adventures, and who knows what's going to happen. I'm just excited to get out of here. But then I come with my mom, and I can't be in the flow. I have to kind of be like, hey, Mom, you know, and then she straight up lies. It's just like, you can't argue with crazy, man. And it's just sad. Like, I'm not trying to talk smack about my mom, but this is the reality of dementia and Alzheimer's, you know, and she has dementia, but yet she still knows what she says. The thing with her dementia, she does forget full conversations. But when she says something to, like, you know, jab you, she knows what she's saying. She'll go, this little face right after, you know, which tells me she knows what she just said. But I believe it's almost, and maybe I said this before, it's almost like Tourette's, where there's this impulse. She can't stop. So, being in the flow in my Pluto polarity point in Pisces, which would put that Pisces, it would put Pluto right near Saturn, which is structure, and Chiron, which is the wound. I have both of them in Pisces, Saturn and Chiron, in the 5th house, which should be fun because it's Leo's house, but for me it's Pisces, so it makes it deeper. Yeah, for myself it's easy, but when I have to be on task with my mom, it's bloody hard. And I'll tell you what, when May 16th gets here and I get on the airplane, I'm going to be looking forward to Florida being behind me and England being ahead of me and that ocean in between, and just ready to really step into the flow then and just not have to caretake. I mean, you know, I go back and forth anyway, but I did do 4 years of it with both of my parents, and my mom is a hard case. Somebody said yesterday on the Facebook, you know, a post about missing the mom, and somebody else wrote on there, yeah, you only get one mom. I'm like, yeah, true enough, fair enough, man, but you come spend a week with my mom, okay? Come hang out here and let me see what you say about you only have one mom. Because we do only have one mom, but it's intense. There is no being in the flow in this house. The best thing to do is flow away into the other room so you don't lose your cool. And speaking of cool, right now it's like 90 degrees, and I don't know, it's humid. We're in Central Florida. It is hot. So, be in the flow in these times. Everything's very uncertain for people. I think the best thing to do is live your life with passion. Do what your heart cries out to you to do, even if people think you're crazy. Because living your best life now is the most important thing. The rest of this nonsense, you know, it's going to go away, I hope, at some point. I hope people wake up with this 99.4% survival rate for people 70 and under who are healthy. You know, but like that's another story. But being in the flow in your life and following your bliss, do it. There's nothing better than that. Have a great weekend, you guys.